everybody, welcome back to Talk with Nia. So today we are going to be talking about music artists who ended up signing bad deals or had bad managers, which ruined their careers and possibly caused them to lose out on millions of dollars. Now let's start off with Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy came into the rap game with new dance moves and became popular quick, okay? When his Billboard Hot 100 #1 charting song called Crank That came out in 2007, it made way for others like The Reject, Cat Daddy, The Dougie, The Shmoney Dance. It was like crazy, all the dance moves that was coming out around that time. All right. And the reach of the internet was much smaller back then. YouTube was also new as it was launched just a couple years before the song's released. And once the song got popular, Crank That videos were literally everywhere online, as were spinoffs that had people cranking that Batman, Superman, and SpongeBob. I remember those days. So was he the first rapper to go viral and break YouTube? It's hard to argue against that. Now, Soulja Boy used a manager named Philip Ransom, and Soulja Boy actually ended up suing him. Soulja Boy sued him for contracts that he was coerced into, allegedly signing as a teenager when his music first started to gain momentum online. In legal papers filed with Georgia Superior Court, the rapper, real name DeAndre Way, says that Ransom exploited his youth and inexperience to coerce him into signing contracts that were commercially unreasonable and contrary to music industry custom and practice. Soulja Boy shared that his former manager gets 5% of revenue for all output created under the management agreement, as well as 50% of co-ownership of copyrights. Damn! But Ransom has denied the allegations made against him and has reportedly filed his own legal papers claiming Soulja Boy owes him money from his time managing the rapper. Okay, talk about drama. Now, next up, we're going to talk about Megan Thee Stallion. Megan is going through a lot with her label 1501, and they have been in court recently. Now, Megan signed with 1501 Certified Entertainment back in 2018. The same year, she also signed with 300 Entertainment, which is a subgroup of Warner Music Group. And in 2019, got a management deal with Jay-Z's Roc Nation. Now, listen to what Megan had to say about signing to 1501.
When I signed, I didn't really know what was in my contract. I was young. I think I was like 20. And I didn't know everything that was in that contract. So when I got with Roc Nation, I got management, real management. I got real lawyers. And they was like, do you know that this is in your contract? And I was like, oh, damn, that's crazy. No, I didn't know. So I'm not mad at 1501. I wasn't upset because I'm thinking in my head, oh, well, everybody cool. We all family. It's cool. It's nice. Let me just ask some niggas to renegotiate my contract. Niggas don't even care about what's right. They care about money in the end. And it's a greedy game, man.
Now, Megan alleges 1501 is impeding her ability to fulfill the terms of her contract. She's asking that Something for the Hotties, which is a 21-track compilation album released on October 29, 2021, to be recognized as an album as defined in the party's minimum recording commitment. Now, according to the filings, 1501 informed Megan more than 2 months after its release that the project didn't meet the definition of an album under her recording agreement, therefore not satisfying her minimum recording commitment for the second option period of her contract. Megan is also seeking compensation for her attorney's fees. Now, if Something for the Hotties is in fact recognized as an album, Megan would be legally required to release one more album with 1501 to fulfill her contractual obligations. And Megan's lawyers claim 1501's move is a ruse in an effort to try to take further advantage of her at great expense and not in good faith. 1501's representatives denied the allegations, stating that 1501 told her from the beginning Something for the Hotties is not going to count towards your album count. All right. So Megan is still trying to work this situation out to this day. OK, so I definitely think that's why, I think Megan would have had singles out by now, even though she just released an album last summer. I think she would have been putting out way more music or featured on stuff right now. But, she's been going through a lot with the court system, with Tory Lanez and then her label. It's just been a back-to-back mess. Next, let's talk about Kelis. So Kelis had hits like Bossy and Milkshake in the early 2000s, and she spoke out about losing out on millions after allegedly getting screwed over by Pharrell. Now, when Kelis came out, she had the support of Chad Hugo and Pharrell Williams. As she looked back on her career, she says that she was scammed by these two and cheated out of millions allegedly. Kelis claims that she was told that her, Pharrell, and Chad would split the share of the songs they worked on 3 ways. Kelis said they went back on their word, which meant she didn't see a penny in publishing for her first 2 albums, okay? Now let's get into Crime Mob. Now, y'all remember Crime Mob, right? This group came out with hits like Knuck If You Buck and Rock Your Hips in the early 2000s. Unfortunately, the group was very underpaid and spoke out about their manager and bad deals during the height of their career. Princess, who's a member of Crime Mob, said, "We went from $50 a show to $300 a show. Then when we started going on the road, we were staying in motels, sharing rooms in the motel. We would do 3 shows a night from Thursday to Sunday, still had to go to school. And then my mom gave me a receipt book and she was like, okay, write down every time y'all do a show." I turned it back into her and she was like, "Why are you coming home? Your head hurt. You don't have a voice. Y'all coming home with $200. Now that is absolutely crazy. Okay. They also spoke out about the bad dealings with their manager and said, what happened was he was managing Scrappy and they took the typical blueprint that everybody else take. Get an artist, get a label deal. So that's what happened with us. We were signed to Scrappy. Scrappy didn't know anything. We didn't know anything. We're all artists learning everything and we all got screwed. We didn't have our publishing. We couldn't put out music. We couldn't sign. Their former manager is still the end all be all. The former manager still has to sign off on samples and everything. It's just unfortunate because when you start with something and you just want to do music and you want to set your family up or you want to fulfill goals, and then the music business of it takes the joy out of wanting to perform, out of wanting to show up for stuff. And it's like, if you're not getting paid, you're underappreciated. Why do this? And that's why for so long we just went away, because we couldn't do anything legally. All right, so they really got screwed over, okay? Listen to this.
So who was getting the money back then?
We don't know.
Our first manager.
Nobody.
I remember him.
We never knew exactly how much he was getting.
He put us in the dough, though. I'm saying that. He put us in the dough.
Oh, it hasn't
The
been
only way,
In 2015.
we had a cease and desist for, 15 years?
What, y'all couldn't perform?
We couldn't put out music.
That's crime.
We couldn't sign.
Wow.
Now, let's move on to Big Sean. Big Sean has hits like Bounce Back, Mercy, and I Don't F With You. All right, Big Sean shared his feelings about being signed to Kanye West and how he had to work his way out of his deal because it was a bad deal. He says that Kanye actually owes him money. Listen to this.
I had to work my way out of my deal just now.
Wow.
I had to work my way out of that deal.
Okay.
My man, like I said, I'm not on a deal.
Right.
It was a golden opportunity. My manager said it was the worst deal he's ever seen.
Jay Brown.
What I'm saying is I put at least $30 million in this man's pocket or more.
Right.
And he owes me money and he's up billions.
Right.
Him or his company.
Right.
He said that the masters, that he was going to give his artists back his masters, and it's just like, that hasn't happened yet, but that would benefit me a lot.
Right.
And if I was up B's, and if I was a man of my word and not just saying something to look good in that moment, like I would pay my artists their masters or at least what they worth if he's not in a position to do that, but that's just me.
Like when we sign someone, we don't sign someone, we're signing someone to the bigger Vivendi slave ship, to the bigger universal slave ship. Because y'all saying, all his tweets was crazy. You know why Prince gave me the song Jail? Because he liked what I did.
Now, before we wrap this up, I want y'all to also hear about some other people and what they had to say about what to look out for with bad contracts and bad deals.
So right now, if I get a loan for my business, right? I got an idea. I have a business. You give me a loan to start my business. I get it going. Boom, I pay you back. I walk with my business. I walk as the owner of the business, the CEO and all that, right? If I get in the music business, all you doing is giving me a loan. You be in a bank. You know what I'm saying? You giving me a loan to produce my music, distribute my music, right? But once I pay the loan back, I don't own the rights to my music. I don't own my masters. So that's a bad deal right there for me. If you really sit back and be like, wait a minute, hold up. Wait, you gave me the money. I done made you the money back. Whew, probably 15 times over. Well, why don't I own my masters? Why don't I own my likeness? That's a bad deal. Show me another business model like that.
What are the top 3 mistakes that you see artists make?
After they did the first mistake they make is now that they got money, they spend it like no more money coming. Bruh, spend that dollar like that's your last dollar. Because it kind of is unless you get lucky and it works. The second thing they do is when they get with the label, they become lazy. Now they got a table of people here. They got a table of people here. So now, now they're like, you're going to handle my socials, you're going to handle my promo, and then they think I can just go be a star. No. He's handling 75 people's socials. He's handling 75 people promo. You're just one on the menu for them. Third thing is they reach up instead of reaching over. I remember I was working with an artist. He was pretty big, and he was like, I want Future on this song. And I'm like, Future don't want you. He's a class ahead of you.
Let me explain to you what hip-hop is. The worst loan you could ever make. When you sign to a major label, that money that they give you, let's say they give you 800 grand, right? That's a loan. You have to pay back that loan with interest. So if you don't make back that 800 grand, what they do is they put you in the red, but you can still be hot. And you didn't make back that 800 grand. So you can still be hot. So they'll give you another album. And they'll give you, instead of 800 grand, they'll give you 1.2 this time. Right? So now, but you're still in the hole for that 800. You understand? But now you got another 1.2. And if you don't make that, then you're just in the red for both. And this is a loan with interest that you don't get nothing out of. Hip hop is not meant for the artist to win.
All right, I hope y'all like this video. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Subscribe if you aren't subscribed to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.